Hello and welcome to the Big Ideas Show. I'm Liu Batchelor and today I'm pleased to be joined by Pam Jones. Pam, how's it going?
Very well, thank you.
Good. And I've got you on the show today because you do some wonderful things for the community. Can you tell us what it is you do?
Helping the homeless and vulnerable in Salvation Army. Twice a week I cook with all my fantastic volunteers.
Wonderful. We're going to be hearing more about that after these titles. Thank you for joining us on the Big Ideas Show. This is the show all about bringing people like Pam, who are doing great things for the community, onto the show to tell us more about the motivation and the mindset behind it. We're here today at the Grand in Folkestone, who have been our wonderful hosts. And I have to say a big thank you to our sponsors and contributors, who you'll see in all the titles. Today's theme is around food for thought. And Pam, I know what you do is provide a lifeline for so many people in the community, those that are homeless and vulnerable. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it is you do, kind of who you help and kind of the challenges they're going through?
We help people who are homeless, first and foremost, and vulnerable people within the community. There's a lot of mental health on the street, people who can't look after themselves or feed themselves properly. I'm not a chef or anything. I just cook home-cooked meals like my mum used to make.
Brilliant.
That's what they enjoy. They just want a nice, warm cooked meal.
Yeah.
So that's what I provide with
Brilliant.
all the volunteers and help.
Absolutely.
Down at the Salvation Army twice a week.
Yep.
We open our doors
Okay.
and give out not just food, clothes, toiletries, sleeping bags, sleeping mats, anything that they need, we will get hold of.
Absolutely. So can you tell me a little bit more about how do you do this? Like, where does the food come from that you're able to provide these meals? What's the practicalities behind it?
Fantastic supermarkets.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow.
We have Lidl's, Waitrose, Tesco's, Fair Share. We have other people within the community who donate food to help us as well, that's what keeps us going.
Yeah. And
Folkestone people are fantastic, supportive people, and I take my hats off to them because that's who makes us who we are within our community.
That's wonderful to hear. It's really wonderful to hear that the supermarket support and that local people do. But I want to hear a little bit more about you. Kind of, why did you decide you started it up, I believe?
There was someone 4 years ago who died in Folkestone, a homeless person, and I felt passionate about it and felt that within our day and age, we're one of the richest countries in the world. Sort of like the world shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. And
that's how passionate I felt about it. And I started with a small group of volunteers, and we used to go out with a big pot stew in the back. I'd make a big pot stew in the back of my car, and bread and butter and bowls and everything. We'd serve it out of the back of my car. And that's how it started. And it got bigger, whereas we had a table which we'd erect outside the Frenchman pub, the old Frenchman pub in Folkestone. And we'd stand there with big soup pots, making tea and coffee, getting people warm. At least then I knew that they'd have something warm, something hot to drink, food to take away. And then I started approaching the supermarkets.
Brilliant. So you mentioned the volunteers
and
those people that get involved. How do you find them? How have you built your team?
Oh, I've got an amazing team. The team are, they sort of either know me or they ask if they can volunteer on Facebook, and they come in within the community and they want to do something and make a difference. And I'm usually doing cooking with other people as well who also cook. Hillary's in the audience and she cooked tonight. But we all work together and it's a real teamwork. We have music down at the Salvation Army, a bit of Queen, sort of to boogie around with.
Awesome.
But music is life and food is life. And you get that combination when people are so badly depressed or haven't got a home and feel that their world is, so bad. then I feel that we're making a difference within the community and doing something positive.
Definitely.
And they see me sort of like as a mother hen, really,
Oh, nice.
so to speak. But
That must be
it's a
wonderful.
nice feeling that you feel like at least you're doing something, you're giving something back within the community.
Definitely, definitely. So you mentioned it's obviously homeless people
Yes.
first and foremost, but you mentioned kind of vulnerable people.
Yes.
What are kind of who may be the groups or the people that might be struggling that we may not be aware of?
Mental health.
Yeah.
People who haven't got family, that's a big thing, you know. And if, like at Christmas, we had people struggling with their tax credits going over, not having enough food. I think we done 82 bags of food. Our team done 82 bags of food to give out to the community.
Wow.
And that's a lot of bags to be given out.
Definitely.
You know, so it was a big thing for us, and we know that all the food that is handed in is given with love, and we just pass it out to the community who need it.
Absolutely, that's wonderful. We're going to have to take a very quick break now, but
Okay.
when we come back, I want to hear a little bit more about you're providing a great kind of service and offering to people, but you're also serving another need, which is around the food waste, aren't you? The people donate. So we're going to
Yes.
hear a little bit more about that in part 2. Welcome back. I'm still here with Pam Jones, and it's really inspiring to see your enthusiasm, and you clearly love what you do, which is absolutely awesome, and you're providing a great service to people that need your help and need the lifeline. But I want to touch a little bit more now about this idea of food waste and where the food comes from, because I guess something I've heard a lot more recently in conversations is around, you know, we obviously want to reduce food waste, but this problem of the supermarkets not being able to hand it out, there are people who are homeless and there's all this food going to waste. How do you get around that? Because you've clearly found a solution and kind of hitting both challenges, really. What's the situation there?
I used to go down to Waitrose in Hythe, and Waitrose started, you know, give me their food.
Okay.
And that's amazing, because, you know, not only do they just give us bread and cakes, because no one can feed the homeless on just bread and cakes. They'd give us, you know, vegetables and eggs and meats, and also meals as well that I could put in the freezer.
Yeah.
They'd freeze it all for me, and we'd put it in a freezer bag and bring it back home to me and put it straight in the freezers, make sure that it was all fresh and everything. All the other stuff I'd either cook up on a Thursday night, which is normal for me, because that's when we go and collect the food from Waitrose. And then on Friday morning, I go up to Lidl's. Lidl's have been absolutely amazing as well. And they go, right, how can we help you? Instead of just giving us bread and cakes, they would just say, well, what else can we help you with?
Yeah.
And they've been amazing as well. And they've put me in touch with the Folkestone one, as well as the Hawkinge one.
Yeah.
So we've got the two.
Okay.
And also Tesco's in Cheriton, they've
Yeah.
been amazing.
Brilliant.
So it's approaching people who want to help you.
Yeah.
And they don't want to see waste. The thing I need the most is meat.
Yep.
Because I know we've got other people who don't cook with meat, but the homeless, knowing that I do this all year round, it's not just winter. It's meat is a lot of money that costs me a lot of money to, you know, sort of source and everything. But I've got fantastic people on Facebook, because Facebook is the opening for everything. And I'll put all the pictures of everything that I've been donated onto our Facebook page to show people what we are given.
Yeah.
And if it's vulnerable families who come in, vulnerable people come in, they'll take a bag full of stuff, or if it's anyone in the community who needs food, they'll come and fill their bag up. And also Saga in Folkestone, they also give me all their fruit, because they give their staff fruit throughout the week, and anything that's left over I go and pick up on a Sunday for the 3 Sagas in Folkestone, and go and pick them up and then
Wonderful.
give them out to the homeless.
So that's nice to hear, because I was always under the impression that the supermarkets couldn't necessarily give stuff away because of health and safety and legislation, but it sounds like they can, and it's just about having someone like you that builds up the trust with them,
But they know
to know that you're going to go collect it and make good
you
use
do all
of
the
it.
health and safety and health and hygiene and everything. And you've got your certificates, so it is imperative that we make sure that all the food is cooked to the right temperature and everything, and we probe everything and log everything that we cook to ensure that safe safe food hygiene and practice. And also we were talking about allergies earlier. We've got one man who is allergic to mushrooms, so we never ever use mushrooms. One, because of cross-contamination, even if by mistake, it is just not worth him having an anaphylactic shock just because we've used mushrooms.
Yeah.
So we just omit them. So, but they sort of, I just do home cooked grub, that they like, sort of sausage and mash and things like that.
Wonderful.
Bolognese, chili con carne, sometimes lasagna, depending on what we've got, I'll cook up, or my helpers will.
Absolutely. So I guess if there's anyone out there that maybe kind of outside of Folkestone in other towns kind of wants to help like you have, it's the sort of thing, I guess, it sounds like you can do it, it can be done. It's just striking those relationships with the supermarkets and, as you said, making sure you've got the health and safety that you need, and then they will trust. And
they will trust that you're not anyone's just doing it, but like even the Harbour Arm in the summer. We'd get people from the Harbour Arm, the big Greek bus started it, and they'd phone me up and say, Pam, we've got such and such left over. It's been a very windy day, not many people down here. We don't want to waste food. Yeah. So and then a couple of more from the Harbour Arm actually got involved and said, well, we've got this and we've got that, So it's word of mouth, and people know what you're doing, and what you're doing is no profit is made at all. It is just done through love and fantastic volunteers.
I really like that.
And support.
Absolutely. Well, you've got great people donating food, but it sounds like you are the pivotal person that is reliable, will go and collect it. The one that they ring, they pick up the phone and go, I've got some food, come and pick it up. Yes. Which you're the glue that holds it all together, right, by the sounds of it. Wonderful. So if people want to help you, if they want to donate, how can they do it?
We can always use donations of money, because meat costs money. Yeah. And that is amazing, sort of like, through the Salvation Army. We've got our bank account in the Salvation Army, which goes through the Homeless Trust, so that whenever I need to get things out, then I can sort of utilise that. And we've got some good counsellors within Folkestone who will give me their ward money, or some bits of ward money to help me through. And it's amazing people, absolutely amazing people, and passionate about homeless and how many homeless we've got. It's huge, it's a problem. But thankfully the Rainbow Centre are doing winter shelters, so some are being homed, which is absolutely fantastic. I can't fault that.
Absolutely. That's brilliant. It's an inspiring, your passion to make a difference is really inspiring. So it's wonderful. So if people want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
They can do it on the website, Helping the Homeless and Vulnerable in Folkestone, Pam Jones. Okay. Or I've got my own page, Pam Jones.
And that's all on Facebook?
That's all on Facebook.
Yep. Okay, so, brilliant. And we'll link it in all of the descriptions as well.
Thank you very much.
Pam, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for listening, tuning in to the Big Ideas Show. I want to say a big thank you to the Grand in Folkestone for being our wonderful host tonight. I want to thank our sponsors, the Glass Whiteboard Company, and to all of our contributors. We have Hacks from Prisma Broadcast, we have Aaron from 6-2, and Warren from Flourish. And of course, our wonderful crew behind the cameras, we have Maddie, Hannah, Harry, and Gary. So a big thank you to them. And if you out there would like to support the Big Ideas Show in any way you can, we'd love to hear from you. You can either be a guest, or maybe someone you know has got a wonderful idea or project, or they're helping the community, similar to Pam and how she's really giving back. You can get in touch via all of the social media pages. It's The Big Ideas Show on Facebook and LinkedIn. And that's all we've got time for tonight, but there are plenty more shows on the topic of food for thought for the rest of this month. So, I'll see you next time.